Hiya, Hamish from Godthrymm here. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about the amplifiers that are used on the Distortions album. Well, specifically the main rhythm guitar parts, because they've been demoed up digitally, and so the songs were kind of written and put together that way. But when it came to the actual guitar tracks, Andy Hawkins suggested that I use one of these. This is a 6505 mini head. It's a fraction of the size and power of the full size 6505, which is a 120 watt amp. This is only 20 watts. So the idea was that I could use this at home, be recording at a much more reasonable kind of volume, be able to push it hard and get some good results. He was clearly enthused by it. I thought it sounded like a great idea, having used 5150s in the past and 6505s, we've been very familiar with the sound. Thought, yeah, it sounded a great idea. So recorded at home with this UK built orange cab with V30s in it, and a couple of microphones, Shure 57 and Sennheiser 609. So a nice combination. Nothing outrageous or different from what's a very well used combination there. I suppose the only difference being that this is, you know, a fraction of the size and wattage of the usual kind of 6505 or 5150 that's one we typically use. So I was really happy with the results. Of course, once I'd finally done all the guitar tracks, then the raw tracks went over to Andy for mixing and then mastering with Mark Midgley. And I think the album sounds amazing. I think it's an incredible guitar sound. And so I gave Andy his mini head back. I found it so useful, then looked up on Marketplace to find one. And then managed to find one for only 250 quid, which is just great price, great bargain. So very, very pleased with that. Then also, I picked up a full-size 6505 as well, a US built one from my dear friend Martin as well. So have both to compare and contrast. We recorded the last single, Delight and a Promise, with the 6505 head and also a 5152 head that I got off another dear friend of mine, Toro, and had one track of 6505, one track of 5152. But now I've accidentally become a bit of a PV amp collector, it would appear. But one thing I've not directly done is compare this mini head to the full size one. So I thought just have a little blast at that today and just record a couple of snippets of the 6505 mini head against the 6505, just playing the same riff throughout, using the exact same speaker, cab, mic setup, same guitar, being a Jackson RR24. So, but yeah, have a listen and contrast and see how that goes, and hope to see what we all think. So, mini head, but all dials on 6. Right, full size 6505 with dials on 6. Now mini head, but everything on 7. Full size 6505 with everything on 7. It feels better in the room immediately. On the mini head, scoop the mid down to 4. And the full size 6505 with the mid dropped. Okay, mini head up the resonance up to 8. Okay, and now full size 6505 with the resonance boosted up a bit. Certainly feels good, feels fun. I do wonder if that one may end up with a bit of a justice for all bass guitar mix, if you know what I mean. So having a listen back on my nice Sennheiser headphones here, immediately you can kind of tell that the 6505 mini head is it's got a touch more bite. It's a bit more of an aggressive kind of top end to it, but I mean, I guess that kind of makes sense given that it's having to push itself a lot harder. The full-size 6505, of course, is a lot more confident in its headroom and abilities. That's why it's a much deeper bottom end, and certainly feels very inspiring in the room as well. And paired up with the orange cab with the V30s is a great combination. I know some people are starting to say that it's such a well-worn combination, you know, about a 5150 style head with you know, V30 speakers, but you know, it's great. It's a great combination. It sounds well, and then, you know, kind of less thinking about trying to, you know, invent some kind of new sound or something if your focus is just much more on the actual content of your riffs and your music. So I will probably try some different bits and pieces on the album, but ultimately at the core of the sound, I think this is still just such a great central starting point anyway. So yeah, 6505 stroke 5150 V30 speakers, and yeah, a couple of good mics in decent positions as well. It's absolutely a great thing. So I think the 6505 is a remarkable bit of kit. You can pick them up cheap. I got this one for, I think it was like 250 quid on Facebook Marketplace. Yeah, great bit of kit, and I can totally see why Andy recommended it in the first instance, and it was very useful. Great for home usage. Certainly not gigged with it. Did take it to a rehearsal room, and its top end bite was harsh and was not good with the full volume of Sean's battery. So you can't stand it. But of course, how would it? You know, it's, you know, a fraction of the power up capabilities of you know, the gigantic 6505's capabilities. But yeah, a remarkable bit of kit. So well worth getting, and I'm sure it would be very giggable as well. It just, certainly in the rehearsal room, it was struggling that little bit more. So I found that vaguely interesting in some way, shape or form, and I shall catch you later. Cheers. Saturday, 8th of February, Godthrymm, Iron Void, Wolves in Winter, Green Sabre, all playing live on one epic night of doom at the Parish in Huddersfield. What a lineup, what a night. Come and join us. It's gonna be heavy, it's gonna be great. Shake those winter blues and come and join us. Much love. Hurrah!